Endu. 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 5 more minutes. No, get up now, kid.
Okay, what?
I needed you to wake up over a year ago.
Oh,
Look, I need you to seek all Pokemon.
but what if I don't want to?
I'll delete your YouTube channel.
Okay, fine, I'll do it.
Alright, good. Before I send you, take this.
Yo, is that the iPhone 14 Pro Max?
Okay, go now.
Wait, where am I going? I was sent to this strange new place I'd never seen before, and I had the feeling I wasn't in the familiar region I was used to. I met someone named Professor Laventon. He told me to catch 3 of his Pokemon because he sucks at doing it himself. Anyways, after I caught his Pokemon, we went back to Jubilife Village. After showing me around, I met 2 new people, a girl named Akari and another one named Captain Celine. And after that, we sat down and ate dinner, and I went to bed. After waking up from a refreshing night's rest, I head up to the Survey Corps headquarters, where Captain Celine tells me I have to complete a quest to be allowed to stay here. This quest was to catch a Starly, Bidoof, and Shinx, which I thought was an easy task, but apparently, Akari thought this was way too difficult for me. I'll be honest, that was a little bit offensive, but Captain Celine assumed I could because I caught the professor's Pokemon the day before. To ensure I didn't expire while doing this, Professor Laventon let me pick one of his starters I caught for him yesterday, and I picked Oshawott. So with that decision being made, I set out with Akari to complete my task. It was pretty easy because I only had to catch 3 Pokemon. Now with that out of the way, I can finally do what Arceus wanted me to do in the first place. So there I was, on the open land. While I was here, I took Arceus' mission to heart and I caught plenty of Pokemon. Oh, and I forgot to mention, the professor gave me a Pokédex. While it's not the one I'm used to, it certainly helps with the mission to seek all Pokemon. Plus, it helps out by giving me tasks to complete with certain Pokemon, which isn't a part of Arceus' goal, but it makes it a whole lot more fun. Maybe I was having a bit too much fun because I was out till night, but that was okay as long as I had my good buddy Oshawott. While going through and gathering materials, Oshawott has been a huge help, and I've gotten quite attached. He's honestly my best friend, because honestly, I could care less about all the other people I met on this journey. However, if I can, I think I'll take Oshawott with me when I complete my mission for Arceus. Anyways, with all that catching I did, I decided to report back to the professor and show him all the work I did for his lazy self. And he seemed quite pleased, so he wanted me to report to the captain to advance in my ranking. Now before, I couldn't have cared less about some stupid ranking because not even what Arceus wanted me to do. But once I got it, it felt pretty nice. So I guess I'll be working on this too. So after all that, I went back to catching Pokemon, and found this lady with a Munchlax, and she wanted to fight to see if I can go into the new area. So we fought, and I almost lost, but I clutched up in the end. After that fight, I was able to explore the rest of the area. While I was here, I of course caught more and more Pokemon. I also fought more and more Pokemon, to the point where Oshawott could evolve. Now with my new buddy Duat, I kept exploring and I find the Munchlax lady and the professor at this weird red glowing Pokemon. And come to think of it, I found one of these Pokemon before with Oshawott, but that thing was incredibly strong, so I was a bit worried when I first saw it. But the two explained to me that these were something called Alpha Pokemon, and they needed me to get rid of this one. While I was scared at first, it turns out that this Pokemon is surprisingly weak, so I took it out easily, and after that we went home and got some food and went to sleep for the next day. After all this, the Survey Corps decided they wanted me to do every single mission they come across, because apparently I'm pretty good at what I do. Speaking of which, they already got me on another mission. Turns out these 2 captains are complaining about how one of their Pokemon is going crazy. These people have certain Pokemon called noble Pokemon, and they seem to be better than other Pokemon of their species. This is supposed to be because Arceus blessed them or something, which I thought would have been nice to know before Arceus dropped me here in the first place, but whatever. I decided that I could help them out, so after catching even more Pokemon, For Arceus in the Pokédex, I met up with a kid named Leon. He told me I had to go beat him in a Pokemon battle to prove I could take on his noble Pokemon. And I beat him. I mean, utterly destroyed him. He really had no chance at all. So with that being done, it was time to make a plan to solve the Pokemon's frenzy. Now normally, Leon would just give the noble Pokemon an offering. But all that made me think was that this dude was just hangry. Anyways, while Leon would have done this already, he hasn't been able to because he's not able to get close enough. So I went to the professor to think of any ideas. He decided the best way to handle this was to throw some food at the noble Pokemon. He told me he could do this by putting the food in little pouches that he couldn't exactly think of a good name besides Tea Time Balls. Yeah, I'm not using that name. Anyways, with that idea, I start to head over to Leon and tell him the plan, but I'm stopped by the Munchlax lady. She wants to show me this cool looking Pokemon called her Weirdeer, and I guess it finds me worthy or something like that because it allows me to go on its back and ride around the landscape. And all I have to do is play a little tune on this whistle and it'll appear. This was pretty cool, and it made it easier to head back to the Noble where I can make the Tea Time Balls. They've decided to call them bombs, which I like a lot more. Then it was time. I had to fight the Noble Pokemon.